Hello. Hello, Jason. It's 3 a.m., huh? So are you across the pond there? We call the pond. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Right now it seems to be just, well, a couple extra people came in, but I always count myself because I'm in YouTube too. So it looks like I need to shave. So I hope everybody's having a good week so far. I got a couple things I'd like to talk about tonight and see what you guys think once people start rolling in. I hope you're all well. Yep, it's just me tonight. Just so you know, Jason. Gemma, I'm not sure if we're doing oracles tomorrow night or Saturday night. I think probably Saturday night. So, my beginning of the night cigarette. So, forgive the cough and nail. Let me switch back over to chat here. Anything happening for everybody? I think all the people that are in there now just hanging out. Come in and say hello. At least let me know you're alive. But I'm doing good. Been an interesting day. Yeah, we're going to talk about, I'm going to bring up, I like that. Big things been going on with people hearing either their voices again and for another part of the house, or a loved one's, or a relative, or somebody calling out to him from another room. So I'm going to talk about mimics and doppelgangers and see what you guys think about these things. I think it'd be a pretty good discussion. What are they? Are they demons? Are they fae? Are they a cryptid? What exactly is a mimic? We don't know what a doppelganger is. Doppelganger is basically another you from either another dimension, another universe, how everybody wants to look at it. That'd be a good opinion I'd like to hear too from you folks. But I'll give it a little time, let some of you guys roll in. We're down to 4 people. I like to have a little bit more because, like I said, I'm by myself. This discussion is with you in chat, is with me in chat. So that's why I do this. I don't have guests, or at least not yet. We'll see how things go. I know I've said that for a while now, but it all depends on my views. You know, I don't want to waste somebody's time. And I want to bring, the whole idea is to involve you guys in the whole discussion throughout the whole show. Stream, whatever you want to call it, upload. So that's what I try to do. That's why I try to make it your night. Now, I know the last off and on Wednesdays have been a little interesting, but it's good. I'm glad people can come in here and feel that they can talk. We've got 6 folks watching. Please, if you're coming in, at least hit the like. If you don't stay here, I mean, that's fine. I understand. I'm sure there's a lot of other things, but we could have fun. We've had fun, been on here till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning at times. So I don't know if I'll go that late. I got a lot going on, but I'd like to have an interesting conversation about, doppelgangers or mimics or anything else that comes up. Definitely been an interesting world out there. And I don't mind talking about UFOs only because it's a good subject, but so many people are talking about them right now that we can, I try to steer the conversation either to a more fun aspect or everyday things, or you can stay with the paranormal and talk about subjects that don't get talked about a whole lot. Now, right now, with Gemma, it's Black Eyed Kids, and those are awesome. And her 2 new books, the Campfire Story books, are awesome books. I have read some of the stories. They're great. So check those books out. Everything's on Amazon. Just look under Gemma Jade Books. Great books, and I'll put the link in here later. Black Eyed Kids are interesting because I see my own different type of Black Eyed Kid. And it's interesting because I have spent little years trying to find somebody, well, I think I found somebody that's come close. He's seen them in hospitals too. And we've had some interesting conversation, but his kid's a little different. Now, his kid's more traditional with the jeans and the tennis shoes and the hoodie, where mine dressed like Dennis the Menace. It's really weird. Always now I'm seeing the past year, I've seen them in my doctor's offices, seen them at the Veterans Hospital when I take Dad there. Yeah, interesting. And sometimes now lately he's been by himself, but in the past I've seen him either with a little boy or a little girl younger than him. He's about, I'd say, anywhere between 12 and 14. And when he has one of the younger ones with him, he's had both of them, a boy and a girl with him at times too. But that's been a while since I've seen them with him. And they're always in the ages, I'd say 6, 7, maybe between 5 and 7. And the little girl is usually a blonde. She's not black haired, but her eyes are black as night. And the little boy, he's got black hair. And he's like a smaller version of the bigger guy. So what's going on? Is everybody just hanging? Now, see, maybe I should start having somebody else on here with me at night, because maybe they'll bring people more in. I noticed my streams are kind of lagging. Well, there was other reasons for that too, I believe. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. I do want to perk them up a little bit. Just right now, with everything, the way things have been since I've started streaming, it's been one craziness after another. It's hard to sit down and really put a organized stream. And I've always wanted to make this the fun stream, just like Tuesdays when we come in and sit for an hour and just chat. Okay, I was looking for something here. But yeah, what did everybody think of Gemma's videos Monday? Okay, I'm just checking something here. Huh, interesting. Oh, okay. And now I see why. Okay. That explains a lot. Should have known that because he's been doing that last few Wednesdays. I should have paid attention. Maybe I'll move my stream. But if I don't get any communication here soon, I'm just going to call it a night, because this is about the chat. This is about being with the chat. It's like people. I'm just trying to check to make sure I'm still set up if I have to. But as far as I know, there we go. As far as I know, Gemma will probably do. She didn't say anything about doing it tomorrow night, so I guess we're doing it Saturday night, 7:15 regular time. As far as I know, if there's any changes, I'm sure she'll let you folks know in a short. So watch your shorts. So who is all here? Is anybody regular here or not regular? New to the channel? Any questions about Gemma or the channel? Anything they would like to topic they'd like to search? Hi, and thank you. I've been waiting for somebody to say something. This is about the chat. So I was feeling a little stale, and I don't prepare often for these streams because it's about you guys. Though I did want to talk about mimics and doppelgangers. That I would like to talk about that, because I want to hear everybody's opinion of that. Because, this thing, I'm seeing more and more videos where people's names are being called out. And it trips me out, because I've heard the same thing. I've heard people calling my name. And first I thought it was, but I've had other people say, I heard that too. Oh, you're fine. You're fine, man. Heck, I'm just glad you're here. How you feeling today? How you doing, honey? Are you doing good? Cindy Lee, hello, dear. How are you? See, we used your meme as a thumbnail. Did you get Did you get answers today? Awesome. But if you don't want to talk about it on here, email me. I'm not a talker, so you don't have to worry about me talking to anybody unless you want me to tell Gemma. That'd be the only other person I'd probably tell. Hold on one sec. I'm going to see something here real quick. I have to look. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. But yeah, so I hope it's good news. I hope you got some good answers, at least answers that will help. That's always good. Yeah, we used your. Oh, did you not see my here? While you guys are typing, here's my background in case you missed it. It looks dark indeed. Yeah, I do too. I hope they were good answers. At least they will help. Hello, Mark. How are you doing tonight? Thank you, sir, for the waffles. For the waffles. I appreciate it. But I do, and I hope they were good, solid answers. At least something to help fix some things. But yeah, just give me an email. Last year at the beach, my son and husband saw a doppelganger walking. Yeah, you. I remember that story. They said it was you. Thought it was you. Thought it was you. Right? Yeah. Doppelgangers. Those stories kind of freak me out. If you ever seen the movie Us, it's just they're creepy. The stories are creepy. You wonder what their intentions are because a lot of the stories I've heard through the years sound bad. Like these things had very malevolent intentions. Never had that happen before. Now, see, I've had people see it, but when I was younger, I was pretty common looking. Blonde hair, blue eyes, glasses. Sometimes I didn't wear the glasses; I'd wear shades. And I'd have people say, "Oh, I just saw you down the street." Heck, I had a guy that I graduated with. And you could have passed this off as maybe brothers or twins. I mean, we look pretty close alike. So I'm a pretty common look. I know that in the day. Now, I've changed a lot since, but if you look at my picture, I'm sure some of you guys have seen the picture of me, the young picture of me that Gemma posted a couple times is my graduation picture. And I look like a lot of blonde hair blue kids. I guess that's what helped me blend in well. They said my figure skin torn and my hair and my big hair freaked my son out. Wow. 1 second here. My skin tone. Ooh, interesting. I didn't cover that. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't mean to cough into the mouth. Mike, that's awful. Sorry about that. Usually I'm really good. I thought I clicked it. Yeah, now these are the type of stories I hear, Edna. It's types where a child will see their mother in a different store and go run to her. And when he gets up close, there's just something off about him, but they're almost an exact replica, but something's out of place. And they get aggressive with the kid, try to take the kid. And then they'll hear their real mother's voice and run away back to their mother and then freak out. And the mother goes to look and sees this lady that looks like her walking away. I've heard a couple stories like that. But I also heard it. One wasn't just a little kid. One was an older kid. He was about 16, 17 years old from what his mom was telling me. It was about that time. And she said when she saw her, when he came looking for him and saw her standing there talking to her, she freaked out. But as soon as she took a couple steps to her, he turned around to look at her and then turned around to look at the other lady, and she was gone. The thing is, walking down the beach is what I wished I was doing back when I was out of that time. Oh, that was when your back was out. Nah, what a bummer. But yeah, see, and like I said, in all these cases, it's like the puff puff with the dragon. Yeah, I have. I This allergy season. Now, a lot of people say it's my smoking. I've cut back quite a bit. I really have. There's the man. How you doing? Oh, Shogun. Yeah, I got to catch up with that. I just got caught up with Ninja, and that was my next project. I'm gonna watch that this weekend. I watch that stuff during the weekends when at night. Now, see those I make Sunday because Sunday's my day. I make it my day to watch all my shows and get caught up. I was at the beach house. The doppelganger was walking down the beach, kind of my face put off. Yeah, that's what both these kids had said to their parents. Or the wife said the same thing. When I looked at her, it looked like I was looking in a mirror, but someone right. Now, this guy, this trucker, told me a story how he thought his wife was cheating on him because he'd do this run out of, and it was out of state, but he always stopped at a truck stop, and he swears he always saw her leaving that truck stop with another guy, but he could never catch her. So he would go home and fight with her about it. And she goes, "It's not me. It's not me." And then one day he finally went and looked, got close enough to really look at her. And he goes, "It looked just like her, but there was something different about her face. It was like it was distorted or something. It was just not right." And he said, "She looked at me like this most evil thing." He said he got nothing but these really bad vibes. And then he realized then that every time he saw her, she was with a different guy. And he's like, "Is she killing people?" And he just left. He got scared and left. And he never stopped at that truck stop again. And made up with his wife and told her what was going on. She freaked out. Yeah. That was a great story, man. You could tell that it really freaked him out when he told the story. You could see him kind of shaking. He said, "I don't know what this thing's intentions were, but it looks," he said her face, it was just like distorted, like it's just something was so weird. But he goes, "I swear it was my wife." I mean, when you first look at it, everything about the movements, the way she acted, the mannerisms, moving away, she moved and everything. And yes, he said he didn't realize then when he caught the guy that was getting in the passenger side was a totally different guy than when he said. And then he realized that every time he was seeing her, she was with a different guy. And his poor wife, he said he'd go home and argue with her about it, and she would go, "No, I swear." They almost cost him their marriage. Yes. Oh, I believe it. And the voices. See, that's the mimic thing. I've heard and had friends stand with me and heard somebody literally call my name. At times it would sound like one of my brothers or like my mom. There was one time, Patricia's a real close friend of mine. I mean, me, Patricia, out of all my friends, I can count probably all my friends in two hands. Most of them, other than Mark and Dan, who kind of we just kind of walked away from each other after like 30 years of friendship. It was just bad, and it was time to move on. But the rest of them, most of them don't live around here, so I don't see them like I used to. But Thomas and Patricia probably know me since the beginning of time, it feels like. And we don't always get along, but I would hear Patricia's voice. Now, Patricia's like the sister I never had. I mean, that's how we treat each other. We tried dating and realized it just, no, it's not, it wasn't meant to be like that. And it's like a brother and sister relationship. And I would hear her voice and I'd say, "What are you trying to do? Mess with my head or something?" Because she's a lot like Gemma. Probably, she's a little older, so you can imagine. And she would look at me like, "No." She goes, "You still hearing that?" And I go, "Yeah," every so often. And I've had friends, like I said, stand there and listen and go, who is that calling? Do you know that person? And we'd go looking for him. It's creepy. I had a friend that I was standing with. We heard what sounded like a little girl calling his name for like 20 minutes. And we looked the whole house over. Never found anything. But she would do it. We'd go to one part of the house, we'd hear it in the other part of the house. And it was clear as a Tom. Tom. I'm just using his name. I don't think he'd mind. But it wasn't him. He ran up to her and said, Mom, and I said, you probably scared her. He said, she just gave me a blank stare. That's what he said the lady did at the car. And then when he looked at her face, and he said it looked like his wife. But there was just something not right about her face. It was either, he said, I couldn't tell if the eyes were too close or too far. It was just, he said it was weird. It was like distorted. They say they never go looking or answer them back. Yeah. Problem is when you're in a house, I haven't, when they called my name, we just kind of, now there was a couple times we went looking, only because it was so clear. I mean, we were all like, what the hell? But when I've been alone and heard it, no, I don't go looking. I don't even answer it back. I just kind of went, it's got to be in my head. You know, I immediately think, oh, I'm just imagining. But when you have other people here, it's creepy. It is real creepy. That's exactly what my son said. Something was off. Yeah, see, that's what he kept saying. That's what the boys said about their moms, because they were both boys. The older boy said the lady that looked like his mom was telling them they had to go home now. They had to go home now. And he was like, no, you said I still had an hour. They were arguing about him not wanting to go home there. He still had like an hour or two, and you weren't done shopping. And then he heard her call his real mom call his name, and he looked at her, and she started toward him, and he said she was freaking out, like, who are you talking to? And then he said you could tell. And when he went back to look, turn around, her mom just kind of freaked out. He turned around to look at the lady he was talking to, the mom he thought he was talking to, and she was just gone. She didn't say if she watched her walk away. She just said all they knew was she was gone. But he told his mom that he was trying to convince her they had to leave, and we had to leave now. So, Chris, how you doing, bud? You feeling any better? Shadowbox has Dune 2 already. But don't tell me about it, because I'm going to go back and rewatch 1 before I watch 2 again. How was Shogun? Are you enjoying it? I hope you are. It looks awesome. So I'm ready to sit down Sunday and watch them. Get caught up. So that's what I do on Sundays now. I've got everything caught up. So every Sunday I just go and keep caught up with all my shows. But yeah, it's freaky to hear. Now, those two things probably, they don't scare me. They just kind of freak me out. That's like some of these videos you see with people looking in the mirror and then they turn and look the other way, but the thing in the mirror doesn't turn and look away. Those are creepy too. Those creep me out a little bit. Not great, but better. Shogun is great. Avatar is great. Good show. Now, you're talking about The Last Airbender, right? I wasn't a big fan of the show, the cartoon. My son was really into it, so I'm going to have to ask if he's been watching it. He's been homesick. He's having stomach problems. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was never a big fan of that, but then again, I never really got to sit down and watch it. But he loved it. I figured Shogun would be good. I really did. Now, Dune, we'll see. I mean, they're supposed to make a third one, right? Aren't there going to be 3 of them? Yeah, well, he inherited, I think, my dad's stomach problems, because my dad has horrible stomach problems too. It's always has. So I'm thinking he probably inherited dad's stomach problems, which is not really funny because he was been miserable. So has Pop. His stomach's been acting up too. It's like me, all I do is sit around the house and all over the place trying to keep from rocking in one place. And those two, I'm going, oh, my belly. Yes. Yes, that's what I thought. I'm really excited about the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I want to see that. I've mentioned that a couple times. I'm ready for Kong and Godzilla. We'll see how that goes. I just make those popcorn movies. If they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. Monsters smash. Yay! So I'm ready to own Godzilla -1. And I hope when they release it with the black and white version. That's all I ask. If you're going to release it on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, to at least please include the black and white version. Or they're going to sell that at a different price for a higher price. Who knows? So Dune was okay, not great. It was boring. I mean, those middle ones always are kind of. Yeah. Now, see, I watched the first one that first came out, but see, I've read the books. My God. The Japanese girl from Monarch is one of the main Shongan. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's the lady. I can't wait. Don't give me too much because I'm ready for that one. So I'm gonna watch it with Dad because he liked the original when it aired on TV back in the day. So he's ready to watch this one. Anybody else in chat had any have ever run into mimics or doppelgangers or something in the mirror? So that's another thing. Things in the mirrors always freak me out, but they freak me out. Those three things freak me out only because it's so off-putting. Hey, Latro, how you doing? Welcome and good evening. There we go. I'm trying to mix the conversation up a little bit. I try. That's what it's about. I know a lot of people do these chat streams with somebody else, but I like doing it by myself because it's nice to hang out with you folks. You never know what we're going to talk about. I always try to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, has anybody else got any good movies they want to come out or anything interesting? Okay, let me put it this way. Like I said, anybody in chat that's ever had any of those experiences, seen something in a mirror that freaked them out, heard voices, somebody calling their name, somebody else's name where they were with, doppelganger. See, now doppelgangers have always interested me because sometimes the shadow people that I see, the things that I see following other people, sometimes look like themselves. When I can't see them, I have seen, and I don't talk about that too much because it's so weird. I'll see the person, and then I'll see that like that same person in like a shadow form. I can barely make them out. I've had ghosts, Sasquatch, and UFO. I know you have, Chris. Blu-ray will not be being produced after this year. Too much new technology out there. I know, but I would rather have the hard copy. So I'm hoping they release the hard copy. That's all I ask on certain movies, because what happens when digital goes down? What happens you have an EMP that knocks out and wipes us back to the Stone Age? I mean, even if you can get electricity back, it'd be nice because you still play your DVD player and put it in and watch it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think the same way about games. If you're going to own a game, own the hard copy. And the older you go, the better, because these new games still link up to the internet, and you can't always get all the stuff that you got without having the internet. And if you don't have the internet, you're kind of screwed. But I know that's what's happening, Chris. Yeah, and it sucks. I think everybody in this chat probably had an experience, and if they haven't, they may have had an experience and just didn't even know it. Those will be the thing of the past in about 5 years. Yeah, just like VHS, DVD became kind of obsolete, and then you had 4K. Now we're just streaming everything. I notice a lot of 1111 freaks out there. Yeah, it's an angel number, Latro. It's pretty popular, and it's actually a good thing. It is a good thing. But there are numbers. I mean, the number things, I don't go too much into number things because, man, it's complicated. But there are people that are really good at explaining the whole number, numerological. See, I can't, you know what I'm saying? The number thing is a big thing. And mathematics is a very big part of. But see, I don't always trust math because you can make mistakes. Sometimes you can prove it on paper, but you may not be able to prove it in real life. That's when it becomes a theory. See, people don't understand a theory is something that really hasn't been proven yet. It's just a theory. Doesn't mean it's fact. A lot of people say, oh, that's theory. Well, that's what it is. It's theory. It's not fact. Yeah, it is a good sign. Yes. I mean, Atra, as much as you've been around in this chat, you should know that. The freaks are out. Yeah, it's a big thing. And it's a good thing because it's a good sign. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean you're on path or you're heading in the right direction or something like that. See, I'm not very good at that. Now, if Gemma was on here, she could probably explain it a lot better. I used to be very good at math. Can't work a lot of problems. I'm not great at math. Now, I got better when I really... See, I sucked in school because I had a learning disability. I associate 111 with my mom and 1234 with my dad. Oh, wow. But once I got out of school and started doing my own thing and applying, working in the restaurant business, so that basic skills started coming up, became a lot better. Then when I started becoming interested in some of the topics that I researched, I had to kind of teach myself. I'm not great at it, but I now know most of the basics. I know what pretty much makes things tick. And if I work it long enough, I'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3. That's interesting. That's nice though. Associate mom with 111 and dad with 1, 2, 3. Associate my mom with my mom and dad 1 and 2. Just 1 and 2. He's 1, she was 2. We were a bunch of insignificant boy numbers running around driving everybody crazy. Yeah. Seriously, anybody in the room, anybody watching, have you had any experience with this stuff? Hey, Area 51, how you doing, Juan? I hope you're having a good one, sir. Hope life is well. Yeah. I think it's interesting to know because people really do have a lot more encounters than they realize. I mean, if you sit back and think about something that might have weird to happen, you may find out it's kind of weird. Good night, sir. You have a pleasant day tomorrow. Have a pleasant night's slumber. Be well. Thanks for the waffles. Thanks for stopping in, Mark. I hope you had dialysis today, didn't you? Or yesterday? I hope you're feeling better and resting, sir. Yes, I do remember. I am good at that. I don't always articulate well, but I do remember things well. I've got a great eye for detail, as one might say. But yes, I hope you're resting, and I hope you had a good day, and I hope you have a better day tomorrow. I have a strong feeling there's a presence when I see those numbers. See, now, I've heard that with other people too. You too. Yesterday, better today. Got to go tomorrow. Oh, Mark. Well, I'll be with you. You'll be in my prayers. I know it sucks. I had friends that was on dialysis, and I know it sucks. So be well, and hopefully we'll see you. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to stream. If she does, she hasn't said anything about doing Oracle Smart, because I'm sure she would have told everybody. So we're probably doing Oracle Saturday night. Friday's her birthday, but she'll be in the car on her way from mom's. So I'll hope you see you Saturday. Now, as for Friday night, I don't know if I'll stream. Just out of respect for her birthday. Then again, I may stream and talk like I did through the last Gemma video, and we'll have a little more fun, birthday fun with her. Hey, John P. Adventures, how you doing? Good. Hugs to you too, sir. Good to see you. Now, John, have you had any experiences with doppelgangers, mimics, things in the mirror that you didn't understand? I'm wheeling myself back. Edna, you say that, but Lotus basically did that. And yeah, she still has a lot of issues, but it made her so much stronger. And I think it made her stronger than she realized. You can never really, sometimes you have to have help, but it's possible. Faith can move mountains. You got to remember that. Faith can move mountains. Remember that. But, if you need help, you get it. But I hope like I said, I hope your answers you got today were at least positive ones that can help you make your journey better. Doppelgangers. Ooh, I heard that somewhere. Doppelgangers, mimics. Now, the only reason I brought mimics is it's funny because you see these videos where you hear people freaking out because somebody's calling them and they're looking around the house and something like that. And that's that you really shouldn't go looking for it or answer it. But everybody that's narrating the video want to apply it to, it's a skinwalker or a demon. But nobody, only I've seen one video, and that's Nukem, where he says mimic, where he calls that situation, is this a mimic? He's the only one that actually uses little right lingo. So that's why I don't I watch the top 10s and those type of videos for the videos. Because some of the narrators, I don't care how much they've involved or done it, a lot of them just automatically assume or go with just a narrative. And it kind of throws people off. Things in the mirror are closer than they appear. Got a cartoon with the mirror showing nothing but the eyeball. Oh, that's like this one meme where this guy asked what his wife was doing, and she said taking a bath, and she sent him a picture back in the bathtub, and it's just her, like her face this much underwater, her eyes are all, she's got the picture all distorted, looks creepy as crap. And you say they call it a mimic ghost? Yes. Now this is when I wish Ryan would come in the room, because he'd probably know a little bit about this too. I don't know much about the mimics. That's just something once I get all with my craziness here taken care of, just like with the fire, the passing of my brother is kind of throwing everything out of whack. I want to go into it more, but every time there's been a couple people that I know who see these videos, and I show them these videos, and they immediately say that's a mimic. And I'm like, well, what's a mimic? And they would be like, oh, it's kind of like a spirit or like a demon, but they can't really name it. I had Patricia. She said mimics are kind of like Fae. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And she goes, I don't know. They're still kind of up in the air, but that's what I associate it with, because that's how Fae kind of lure you into, is they, repeat things you say or use people you may know's voices to draw you in closer to them. Are they connected to the doppelganger? Now, I don't think so, but they may be the mimic. There are times I think that the doppelganger, who is actually, because there are incidents too where the person is seeing themselves at a distance and they're mimicking, and that person is mimicking them. Now that's a doppelganger. So is that a mimic too? See, I'm in the same. I got the same question as you. Or are the doppelganger just a whole different breed, and the mimic is something totally different? You know what I'm saying? My son hears his name being called a lot. You know, in the woods. See, that could be Fae. And especially if he's young or even when he's older, if he's been hearing it all his life, that Gemma would say that sounds like Fae. I'm sure that's what she would say. Tell him to never answer, Cindy. Yeah. Yeah, I should have, but I was older too when I heard it. Now, when I was younger, I wouldn't answer it, or I'd just freak out and just think it's in my head. Because you tell somebody, oh, I'm hearing somebody call my name, they're going, maybe you should see a psychologist. Maybe you're schizophrenic. Because a lot of people associate that with schizophrenic. And I don't know. When you have other people hearing it too, standing right there, that's a whole different ball game. Because I've heard it, people have heard it, my name being called, and I've been with people that's heard their name being called. We were out camping one time, and nobody knew the voice, but it was definitely a young lady, and she wasn't saying help. She kept saying, hello, are you there? Are you out there? I hear you. And we'd answer back, but she would just repeat those same phrases over and over again. He believes it to be a Bigfoot. Now, does he think that a Bigfoot can talk? Now, we don't know if they can. They may be able to talk. I don't know. Or maybe they can mimic us too. That would be interesting concept. Has any Bigfooters out there talked about something like that? So I still have questions too, and I'm always willing to learn. I mean, I have my views on certain subjects, but there's like doppelgangers, mimics, things in the mirror. Now, I can say things in the mirror because we've all seen those videos where somebody would be looking in the mirror and they would turn their head, but them in the mirror wouldn't turn their head, or their eyes would change or something weird. You've seen the ones where the fake ones with the little kids, because those are fake. But they're still creepy. But I know people that have seen strange shit like that, strange stuff like that in the mirror. But yeah, he believes it's a Bigfoot. So he thinks the Bigfoot is actually calling him. That's interesting. Like I said, is there any Bigfooter out there that are watching us right now? Do you have a comment on that? That's interesting because I don't know how to. That is interesting. I keep saying it's interesting because it is interesting. I never, you always hear the hoots and hollers in videos. Now there's a couple strange videos I've seen where these guys are outside on a street, and it's like somebody just like a Joker laugh, just laughing and laughing. And you'd think maybe it's a hyena, but they're not aware of hyenas. That somebody have a pet hyena. I know, it's a fox, but that's no fox. It sounds too human. Now, I've heard foxes, I've heard bobcats and animals out in the forest make weird noises. Heck, peacocks sound like screaming babies. They really do, and it's creepy. But these guys, you hear the video, and they're like, no, that's like somebody out there running around laughing. And it's like echoing. It's weird. BF would have super low voice. Huh? My grandparents were indigenous. They believed in these things and wanted to. Yes, they did. Actually, Chris, you still here? Or did you go back to your show? Now, I've heard stories when I've done research about the mound bitters, the Hopewell, and the Adinas, that they had stories about these things and were often told, you don't mess with the fox, bobcat can sound good. Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. I've heard all those noises. When you hear the video, it literally sounds like somebody's got the Joker laugh on a bullhorn, and it's creepy. It is just, and it's moving. And then one guy you can see in the one video, you could hear it get closer. Then you actually hear gunshots, like somebody shot at it. But you get no context. You don't know what happened afterwards. The guys just pretty much was like, screw this. And they went back inside. But it's creepy. That could be an addict out in the woods freaking out and cross somebody's property line. Who knows? But I mean, this is like out in the middle of nowhere. One night it sounded like a baby was crying out in the field. Now, see, the peacocks, when I go stay, when I was having my surgeries done my throat, there was 2 weeks that I went and stayed to kind of take a break from everybody. That was rough. And in fact, I think I was even still talking to Gemma and you guys in chat. But I stayed down at I have a friend that owns cabins down in Logan, Ohio, and they would give me a cabin to go down to stay. And they only charged me like $50. I think they charged me $200 for both weeks. And what I did was I went down 1 week, came back up, did my surgery, then went back down and just chilled. And the first night I was there, probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, these peacocks started going off in the front part of the cabin. I mean, they were going nuts. And it sounded like 1,000 babies screaming. I go out there and tell them to shut up. And they all just kind of look at me and just walk right back in the woods. It was so weird. He picks up a lot of voices in his woods. Does he have one of those, what do they call those? Those microphones, those extra large microphones? Oh, it was funny at it. You would have laughed your butt off. Because it was really funny because it's bad enough I don't sleep. And I was a little edge because you're on your first night in a cabin by yourself out in the middle of nowhere. You tend to be a little on edge. Until I have stayed in the cabin, I know the cabin. But they just, right? Like it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. They would just go in the down. And there's like in front of the cabin, you have a porch. And then you have like a little mowed area. And then there's nothing but woods. And they just went nuts. And it was like, oh my God, stop. It just sounded like 1,000 babies crying. Screaming all at once. I did. I opened that front door and I was like, shut up. Then they just all just froze and all looked at me and just kind of walked off into the woods. I just stood there and laughed at myself. I was like, that was creepy. Ugh. And then it sucked. One night I was sitting there on the porch. I don't know. Maybe I did see the grass man. I don't know. It could have been a guy in a gunny suit. I'm not going to specify. I can't say for sure. But whatever it was big. It came up over the one side of the corner of the area and just booked across and ran right down this hill. I mean, that hill was steep. And I got up, ran after it, and looked down the hill. You could see where it ran, but you couldn't see no footprints because it was fall. And it was just nothing but leaves. You could see where leaves had been flushed. And the trees were still moving, but it was gone. I mean, it was booking. And so that night I took my camera out and sat it out on the porch. And, hey, Bot Mom, how you doing, hon? Lurking. You can say ghosting. That's what you're doing, lurking, ghosting, same thing. And all that night, I caught a fox. I caught peacocks, but they were being quiet. They must have known us. They got it yelled at us. Caught a couple coons. It looked like they were having a slap fight. It was hilarious. And that was it. A couple weird noises, like somebody was walking on the porch. But it was like nothing like really spooky. It just sounded like somebody walked on the porch and then left. And that was it. And I had left, and every night, about the time I was sitting on that porch, as soon as I get up, I put the camera down. And I never caught anything after that. It kind of pissed me off because I really wanted to go, hey, look what I caught. He heard a baby cry once on his video. Also, that about 100 yards away, he came across a baby stroller busted up. That would freak me out too. That's creepy. Maybe he heard a ghost. I just got shivers. Seriously, I just got shivers. Oh man. Interesting. I like saying that word. That's my favorite word. Everything's interesting. That's my way of saying, like the F word. Some people use the F word so delicate they could use it in any form, and it's always like fluent. But to me, interesting is I can say interesting and kind of like, oh, you're being sarcastic. Oh, that's interesting. Or I can really be interested. Little kid goes, no way. Yeah, why not? In the woods, that's highly possible. They're always creepy. And then you got to wonder if it is a child because a lot of the bad things take a form of a child because most adults feel sympathy for it right off the rip. That's what I told him. Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean, or either that or somebody had a child and it passed and they just threw the stuff wherever they could throw it so they didn't have to see it. I mean, there's so many things that are played out that, or something attached itself to the stroller. That's just weird. And it's highly possible. I wonder if there's an old cemetery buried in those woods. That's a good question. You know, it's amazing if you wander around long enough in the woods, you find weird stuff. I know people have found cemeteries that nobody ever knew about. And I mean actual cemeteries, not like burial sites or stuff like that. That would be awful to come across out in the wood. Yeah, it would. Oh, yes, it would. I don't even want to go there. I'd just break my heart. Back in the day, a lot of people were buried on their own land. Yeah, yes, they were. Ever since finding David Pilates, I haven't spent much time in the woods. Yeah, David Pilates just brought it more. He just brought it out. I think a lot of people, especially in the paranormal world, I know a lot of park rangers. In fact, my little brother's ex-wife was a park ranger for some time. I'll tell you what, there's another group of people that have great cryptid stories. And there's channels out there that do nothing but park ranger stories. And weird crap goes on in the woods. He was deep in the woods. Ooh, that's even creepier. If it's like way deep, I mean, you won't catch me out in the deep woods at night. I said, I have no problem staying in the woods, not at all. You know, I've had a lot of creepy encounters in the woods, but it doesn't scare me from camping and stuff. In fact, to me, the only best camping experience you can have is, you can go to the regular campsites and stuff. Oh, that's fun. Kind of safe too, but sometimes it's not as safe as just going out by yourself. But you see these people going out in the deep woods and having some weird stuff, and we have that too. I mean, some really weird stuff. And noises. Some of the weird noises you hear out in the woods when you're out there in the no man's land woods, in the darkest, deepest parts of the woods. Some of the noises at night that penetrate those woods are just creepy. Ohio woods are thick enough. Jermaine, GPS don't work part of the time. Yes, there are some woods here in Ohio and in Indiana. We're all along this like central east area. Before you start heading west, Kentucky, Tennessee, the Appalachian Mountains, some of those woods, man, you lose your GPS. Don't work with crap. You can't get a signal. But there's some woods. There's some places here in Ohio. Oh yeah, down in Logan and up north. You don't want to get lost in them. You don't want to get lost. You don't know what you're going to stumble across. And we've gotten lost, and it's creepy. Oh, I love the camp. Don't get me wrong. Just not taking me into the deep woods. He's done a few overnighters in the woods. Now, does he have one of those, what they call them, barological? I can't say, so you have to forgive me, folks. But the big microphones that just literally pick up everything. I would love to have one of those, an infrared or infra, camera and a night camera. And I'm actually thinking about buying 2 trail cams, only because I want to put one on the tree facing the cemetery. My backyard, if you stand in my backyard, you see the cemetery perfect. And then put one out in the front or right at the gate of the cemetery, because it's a fence, right on a tree. There's a line of trees. The gate kind of goes like this, like that, like a little turn, and there's a line of trees, and put one high facing down into the cemetery, just to see if I catch anything. Parabolic mic. Thank you. A fox can make up to 25. Yeah, they're very vocal. Coyote can make 11, and now we have bobcat back in Ohio. Did you see the picture that they caught that looks like a black wolf? I thought he said it was South Ohio, but this guy about 6 o'clock in the morning took a picture. At first, it looked like a all black shepherd, but the more you look at the picture, it looks like a lone black wolf. And apparently, it is just a little north of here in Ohio, and it is a black wolf. It's got to be a wolf. It looks like a wolf. You know how long it's been since a wolf has been in Ohio? They think it might have been a stray or someone that wandered off from a pack up north. You know, we see bears now, and bears are becoming common, especially down in southeast Ohio. And apparently they've now seen a bear here and there up around in Logan and Athens. You're down there more, you're down around that area. Wolves in Ohio wouldn't surprise me. You know, I've seen coyotes. We know the coyotes are here. I've seen them. And I know the people who have caught them and released them somewhere else. But no, a wolf would not surprise me at one point. You know, it's like they're now seeing those jaguars moving up north. They're now seeing them up in Texas that come up from Mexico and South America. They're now seeing them in Texas and Arizona in the Southwest. We are taking up all the land. Yeah, I think that, but and then you would be surprised how much land here in America that really is untouched. I mean, it's quite surprising. But yeah, but I also think that it's not only just that, it's about the food supply. And this earth is changing. And, you know, when the earth changes, animals move around. You know, look for better food. Food source will die in one spot, so they have to go to another. And I think that's what's happening. Plus, I have noticed over the last, from my calculation now, it'd be like the last 7 years that I've started paying attention, that the North Star has shifted little by little more south. So we may be tilting again. Oh, my hawk came back. Oh, awesome. I knew he would. I said he would. And I think there's other things they're watching you too. Animals stick to their own territory once you just see. I don't believe that. I think animals will move, not just because the territory has gotten destroyed, but the food sources may change or die off for some reason. But also, I think they get big and a pack, or like dogs, like wolves. The pack will get real big, and they'll only let them get so big before they'll start branching off. Deer do the same thing. They get so many in one spot that they start to spread out. Well, the Southwest states were their natural habitat as well. Yes, it was. So they were moved back down there and then are coming back up. Why? You think they'd be, with us crazy ass Americans, you think they'd be scared to come back up here? Well, I'm going to say yes and no to that, Edna, because I blame us for a lot of things, but I don't think it's all us. The earth is changing. A lot of it can also have to do with the actual environment itself. But yeah, I agree that men probably have a big part of it. I will agree with that. I guess I do agree with that. But I don't think it's all that. I think there's a lot more at stake than just us being greedy poo-poo heads. But yeah, I do relate to that. Only because it's yeah, okay, I'll hold it. Yeah, 90% it is. Yeah, it is. It's probably. You notice I still said probably. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Yes, I do. I mean, look what we're doing to the Amazon. I mean, we're just. I agree. But there are still a lot of places that have managed to stay untouched. But see, I also think that the sun is doing crazy stuff right now. The sun is like super active. Um, Everybody says keep an eye on the stars, and it's true. I mean, you always want to keep an eye on the sky. What happens up in the sky is going to affect us, but we affect the sky too. I'm not saying it's humans, but it's humans. Yeah, yeah. And I shouldn't laugh about it because it's really not funny, but it's true. What we've done to the rain. Yeah. And see, I'm a big fan of the rainforest because I'm into amphibians. I like newts and toads and the species that are down there and salamanders and stuff like that. The species down there are just amazing. And I always enjoy watching shows because I've always wanted to go just to collect toads and frogs and all the different types of newts and salamanders. And they've always amazed me. It's like people don't understand when the salamanders and the newts and the toads, these small little amphibians, when they start to die off on us and come in stink, that's a big warning sign. Not just with the big stuff, but these little critters really tell you what your environment's doing. You gotta laugh or we'll cry about it. Truth on that one. Truth. That's for sure. But yeah, it is a shame. And it's, and when we stir up the earth and like we're doing, we also stir up other things. Back to the paranormal. When we're doing all this stuff, we're stirring up stuff that we may not want to be stirring or stumbling across things that have been buried away for a reason. Yep, another April 8th. Yep. And in that eclipse, you will only see Mercury and Venus. You also see a pretty cool comet. So this is going to be like the ultra eclipse of all time because it's going to be a show. So you'll be able to see the eclipse, I believe Mercury, I believe Venus, and then you have this really cool, and the tail, now it's getting closer to the sun, this comet's tail is really starting to blow up. Yeah, I'm hoping the sky is clear too. I'm trying to find a thing that will fit my my telescope so I can take pictures because it's going to be a cool one. I'm going to order special glasses you can wear. And then I'm going to take one to the lens of my camera too. So I can take really cool pictures. And I'm hoping because I have two cameras. Here's my other one. I have my phone, of course, but I'm not really impressed with my iPhone camera. It's older iPhone too. Where did I put the camera? But I have a camera I'm going to put up. I missed a lot of the super moons because of cloudy skies. Yeah, I have two. It's weird because every time an event like that happens, I might catch the tail end of it, but for some reason it's always cloudy here. I missed out on the moon, this last full moon. Well, it's kind of full now, but see, it's cloudy here now, so I couldn't see what was left of it now if I wanted to. But I guess here, somebody said the moon when they got to see it when they had a break cloud, they said, man, it was like a gold. It looked like a gold coin. And then I saw some pictures and I was like, holy crap, that's cool. But I know you charge your crystals. Now, see, that's what I do, Edna. Believe it or not, my window, I have a window right here since I moved my room. So I used to sit over on that side of the room before the fire and face that wall. Now I'm facing, actually, I'm looking, if you put a window in front of me, actually, there's a window right here. It looks into the backyard. But there's some trees here, but I have this big, huge open space over here. And I sit with the telescope. I can literally sit at my window and pull the window down, put the telescope out the window, and sit inside and look at my telescope as the moon goes over. And same thing with the sun in certain seasons. So I put my crystals in the window, right along the window stuff. When I close the window, I just lay them across the top. And that moon hits them from whatever the time frame is. And as long as it's in that whole open spot, it's on it. Gov has supposedly admitted that the change the weather patterns, cloud seeding has run amok. Yes. Yeah. It always cracks me when people say chemtrail. I can guarantee it because I just said chemtrail. There'll be a thing under the box of the replay saying contrail. Because, yeah, chemtrails are those long streaks you see coming out of a plane for miles on end. Contrails only last a small bit, sometimes long, small, but they don't last. They evaporate over time. But those things, those long trails that you see coming out of those jets that go on forever, you notice they make weird patterns when they start to disperse. If you watch them, some of them actually look like genetic strands. It's creepy. You wonder what they're dumping on us. Last year, the eclipse reflected off a shiny leaf tree and projected little eclipses all over. Isn't there a picture of that? Somebody took a picture of something like that. It was really cool because it sounds really familiar. I don't know why. I think I've seen a picture like that or something. But that would be awesome to see in real time. Yeah, the eclipse last year was not a full eclipse, except for a very small section of it. This one's a good one. This is a little wider, a little more span. Actually, when they showed the stream of the actual full totality of where you could see the whole kit and caboodle, it doesn't have Columbus in it. But from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, I should have a good full. I should be able to see everything. Because I'm thinking they kind of everybody shows that line a little just like inches long. I think I should have a pretty good view of it. I should be able to see the whole totality, which makes me happy because it's been I think I was just a little kid when that happened. And we used a box. You cut a hole in the box and tape in the back of the box a piece of aluminum foil. And then you would sit and hold the box over your head and look at the aluminum foil, and you can actually see it blanked out. Right? They don't last long for hours. Now, this one, the longest part of the people down south of me will get it for at least like 4 minutes and 14 seconds or something like that. And here I should be able to observe it for at least 3 minutes and something. I have a pic of that. Do you really? That would be cool to see, dude. But somewhere I swear I've seen something like that before. But it looked so cool. That's why it came when you said it. It had Latra. It stuck in my head because I know I'm really good about remember. But that's so cool. Yeah, that picture's probably a keeper. The cheap plastic glasses work well. I bet welder's mask. Now, see, the people who used to live next to us, he would go out and put his his camera behind his welder mask, and he caught some really cool pictures of the sun doing that. But now you can get those lenses for your cameras and stuff. There's a guy that takes and videos the sun for Mr. MBB3 from down in South America. Some of those pictures, he actually gets sunspots. You could actually see the sunspots. It's amazing. He's got it down to a T. I have some glasses somewhere. Yeah, I think I think I'm going to order a couple pairs. They're cheap. Yeah, it's April 8th. Write it down. And when it gets closer, I'll post it. And I'll also post the time it's supposed to start. Edna, you should be able to see like a partial, I believe. So you should be able to see some of it. But like I said, it's going to be a show. Because like I said, you get this doing the whole thing. You're going to see Mercury, which is pretty rare because Mercury books around fast. And Venus. And then you'll see that comet. The comet is kind of special. So I'm really hoping I can get pictures of the comet. Because they say you should be able to see everything with your eyes. And it's so weird to see it dark during the day, too, when it turns dark during the day. I remember that as a kid. And I was young, too. This is the age of Aquarius. It shows you why everything's so wacky. Sorry about the pause there, folks. Yeah, it should be a good one. I'm really hoping for a good one. I'm really hoping it's not cloudy. That's the one thing about being in Ohio. Either we're burning up and sunny and it's bright, or it's just dingy for days. Now, we had tornadoes this morning. Now, Chris, did you have any of that bad weather this morning? I'm sure you did. We had 2 tornadoes to the west of us. One was actually confirmed. That was over by my ex-wife's. I mean, it was like literally coming at them, and then it shifted and went south or southeast. And it did pretty good damage. Tore up an airport pretty good. And then it was like it's like the system went over Columbus, then started all over again on the other side of 270. And at one point, I counted like 5 tornado warnings going off at once. That started like at 5 till 5 this morning. Got Lily just laid down like at 4 o'clock because I couldn't sleep and I was restless. We had some pretty good storms going off and on at midnight, and then it finally kind of quiet. Then it just all hell broke loose. Yeah, it's weird, Edna. It was 63 this morning. Actually, when the storms came through, it was 65 here. My gauge outside read 65 when the storm started here, when the storms came in at 5, when the tornadoes started popping off. I mean, the lightning show was just amazing and incredible. But after the storms moved out, it stayed like in the mid 50s. Then, boom, we dropped. Right now, it's like, I think, what is it here right now? It's 27 here now. But I watched it drop all day, and once it started dropping again, it was dropping. Yeah, my flowers are all popping up. I'm not. Well, ours is pretty hardy, so I'm thinking I should be okay. A lot of them are like real heavy tulips and stuff. But if the weather does get worse, because we get cold tonight, and I think a chilly tomorrow night. And then we warm right back up into the 60s. In fact, they're saying that here we might break records. So, El Nino for you. We are having high wind. Yeah, it's been windy as crap here too. I mean, you guys are getting now what we got today, this morning. You know that, right? That's what you're getting now, is what we got this morning. I was in college in Cincinnati. That's where that's where Chris lives. He lives in Coleraine, Ohio. I was in college, and I worked in Coleraine, or actually Harrisburg, Harrisburg, Harrison, Ohio, right there on the border, just west of Coleraine. I was in college in Cincinnati when a bunch of twists. Yeah, see, my dad worked for Wonder Bread at the time, and they had bread trucks that we had to go down there and get. I went with him. That Xenia tornadoes was just so devastating. Nothing, I mean, but all tornadoes are bad. And then when I lived in Harrison, and I think it was 2000, no, it was 1999. Yeah. And we had tornadoes come through Harrison, devastated, almost destroyed our brand new Bonanza. And it just devastated that town. I'm surprised all it did was blow our windows out. And the people that were working night said you could literally hear it coming at them. You could see it in the windows. They all went and locked themselves in the freezer and the cooler. And they said it got real quiet. And then they heard a big, they said it sounded like an explosion. They felt the ground shook. And other people were saying it literally just hit the street and jumped over the highway. And you could see the path. It was a strip. We saw a telephone pole, literally, no kidding, through an engine block. I'd never seen anything like it. The stop signs so twisted and turned. Oh, it was. And we were there. I mean, we felt it too. We weren't just off to the west of it because we lived over in between Coleraine and Harrison. And we lived on the third floor. We had to go down to the basement floor. And when we went back up later after the tornadoes passed, we had two of those small mini trees that they plant on our porch on the third floor. But yeah, it's good tornado. But then weather's crazy, anyways. Well, weather is amazing. It definitely lets us know that Mother Nature has control. And what about the fires down there in the Panhandle? Wow. That's crazy. You guys all know about that, right? I'm sure you all know about the fires going on in the Panhandle. Went through a forest like a lawnmower, many inches of mulch. Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. Just shreds everything in sight. I've seen them do some weird things too. The cow's in the air. There goes the cow. Went through, yeah. Nuclear weapons lab. Is that where there's one at? Is there one there? I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah, I was shocked when I go, what? We're still getting over the tornadoes, and Dad goes, didn't you just hear they have the panhandles in Texas is burning? I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, look. And I'm like, holy crap. What else is going on that we don't know about today? Thank you, folks. Well, I didn't know that. You didn't know that? Yeah, the panhandle down in Texas is burning. I mean, it's on fire. I mean, it's destroying land left and right. You should have seen them. I was watching footage of them trying to get all the cattle, save all the cattle. They talk about carbon emissions. And they don't even know how it started. From what now? Does anybody here, anybody watching, know if they ever found out how it got started? Because at the point we were watching, nobody knew how it got started. Yeah, that's what I'm asking now. And we don't, as far as I know, from what I saw earlier, they still didn't know what started the fire. Were they ever? Was it the fishy situation like in Hawaii? I can guarantee you, Hawaii was done because they wanted that land. They burned those people out because they wanted that land. It's as simple as that. They destroyed all those people's homes and lives because they wanted the land. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly what they did. That fire was done with lasers. It's not their dry season yet. No, it's not. So they're trying to figure out what started it. As far as I know, they hadn't said or found anything that started it. But yeah, Hawaii, those fires were set because they wanted that land. Oprah, a bunch of them, a lot of big money wanted that land. Even the town people will tell you they were wanting that land for some time. That's a nice spot. If you've seen pictures of what it looked like before the fires, and you see the whole suspicious thing about that whole thing is after it all was said and done, they literally closed that town off to anybody. You had to sneak in to go see the damage. They weren't letting in. If you got caught, you got in trouble. They were not letting people see the aftermath of that fire. When they want that land, they will do anything to get it. Ain't that the truth? I hate to say it, but it's true. And it happens everywhere. It's not just there. It happens here all the time. That's like California. Why do you think they keep burning California and all those places? They want that land. I had one guy tell me that he actually thought that they were burning forests looking like up in when all those fires broke out in Canada. If you watch the satellite when the day it happens, there was like 6 fires all started at the exact same time. Not too sus. What were they burning out? Why were they burning down forests? Were they looking for something? Bigfoot, something? Or did they want the land and they wanted to clear the land for something? They're always so sussy when that stuff happens. And this panhandle looks really sussy to me too, just like Hawaii. They steal your land. Oh yeah. There's a trivia stat for you. Percent of greenhouse gas emissions from beef cattle is 1 point. Yeah, it's not much. Heck, we maybe make more than the cattle do ourselves. That's what they did to the rainforest, burning down to grow palm. Yeah, sad but true. Oh, that just happened to all that fire burned all that land up. It's all wasted now. People don't start to think. If you want to clear property, fire. Because also fire is a great way to regenerate and revitalize the land. That ash and all that burnt just is nothing like fertilizer. A lot of things will grow back thicker and nicer. Yeah, and it's a fact. It's like volcanoes. People don't, people, oh, that's so devastating. But man, when that volcano and all that lava and all that stuff cools down and breaks down over time, that's fertile land. And fire's really good about making land fertile and clean it out real richest soil ever. Yeah. Smoke break. Don't need it, but I'm going to have it anyway. A burnt cigarette. Well, maybe not. Ouch. Ouch. I killed something. Oh, well. Couldn't have been too bad. Well, I hope all the people singing out in the background, we've gone up a few and then go back down. It was just typical. I know Paranormal 60 was streaming. He's been streaming on Wednesday nights at 10. All of a sudden, so that's fine. They know what they're doing. Oh, yeah, they know what they're doing. Well, that's why they use those lasers. Boom, boom. People have said a lot of times, like some of like the fires up in Canada. People said there are people that swear they've seen beams of light come down just before those fires started. Oh, it's some kind of phenomenon. Yeah. But then again, I am kind of a conspiracy theorist, so I just like to look at all the details. And some are pretty sussy, some of the stuff that goes on here. It's like the train accident up here in Ohio that dumped all that stuff. Nobody's talking about it now, but those people are still up there having problems. Yeah, you're feeling the wind now? Oh, honey, it's been like 30 all day. That it's been like 30-mile-an-hour winds here, off and on, between 15 to 30 miles. Every so often, you get a really good gust of about probably 40. And it's still doing it here. Not as bad, though, but it's still windy. Yeah, if you hear noises behind me, sometimes that's what you're hearing is I have a bush right up against the side of the house, and you can hear it hitting the house. You can hear this guy. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It was weird this morning because if I lay down, and yeah, you're like half asleep and half awake, and I'm doing my rock, and I know I was rocking. I kept seeing flashes. So I kind of opened my eyes up and I saw him again. I'm like, but I didn't hear no thunder. And I'm like, what's going on? Am I still dreaming or something? And I sat up. As soon as I sat up on the edge of the bed, boom, 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 boom. I was like, holy crap. And then the sirens went off. We were nearly 90 Fahrenheit Monday, peaked about 50 today. Wow. I do too. Oh man, the lightning because all the tornadoes was west of me. The lightning show here was just, I hadn't seen a lightning show like that in a while. I mean, you could actually see the streak. I just wish I had a decent camera. I'd have been out there taking pictures. But man, it was wild, and it was fast. I mean, it moved through fast. It started we had storms come through like midnight, and they were real fast too. And some of the places around us got like nickel-sized hail. And then it moved through real fast. Then it got real quiet. And I paced around the house, piddled around the house, laid down. Like I said, I woke up to all that. But it, from about 5 o'clock, from the time it started, and that was probably when it hit about Dayton, is when it really started freaking out. Till it went to the east side of Ohio, was probably from about 5 o'clock to about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I mean, it moved fast. I'm not far from a river. The storms seem to follow the river here. Here it seems to follow 70. Dad will tell you it's either 70 or Broad Street, because Broad Street's Route 40, and Route 40 goes for a while. And down in Cincinnati, yeah, it seems to hang out around the Ohio River when they come through down there. Or they cross over that and pick up steam once they cross that. They feed off that water source, it changes the atmosphere a little bit when they start sucking up that water and that moisture. That's why you always see really good storms up around the big lakes and stuff. It's just food for those storms. What time is it? Oh, 11:30. I might make it to 12. I'm kind of tired. I got to get and go to the cemetery office tomorrow morning and do the final details for my little brother so we can get him laid to rest. And then I think I'm going to take it easy tomorrow until we actually take care of it. And just work around the house. It's been so crazy. Thank you, Edna. I mean, it's got to be done. I want to get him taken care of. I don't like the fact that that poor kid is laid. My brother is kind of, he passed away horrible. He took himself, and not in the best way. And I don't want him sitting in limbo too long. Let's get him put to rest. I don't like the fact that somebody goes the way he did and then sit in limbo as long as he has. His body sit in limbo, his ashes, whatever. I know your spirit leaves that, but there's still a connection there. So we need to put that poor man to rest. It is. What do you do? I mean, we all, and I'm telling people now who watch, it's like poor married last week. If you need help, please find it. Go get help. I mean, he was down around people, from what we understand now, he was around people that could have helped him, or if he just, I don't know. In these situations, especially with the statement he made, the way he did it, I'm sad. It hurts me a little bit, but I've done everything I can do. Now I just want to put my brother at peace, and let's get moving on. My dad. I think it kind of showed on my dad today. When we got the news 2 weeks ago Monday, it was like a weight lifted off us, which sounds horrible, but it did. It felt like a weight being lifted off us because we didn't know where he was at. We were just hoping that he was finding his way back. But we knew as soon as the cops walked up the driveway, we knew. But it was like a weight being lifted off us. But when his remains finally made it, they came in Saturday, but they didn't tell us until Monday. Once we knew that his remains was back up here, that kind of weightness kind of came back. So we're just doing everything we could and now to get him to rest. This has been a hassle. It's just been one. We couldn't do anything at the beginning because they didn't know he had kids, and they have first say on what to do, if they even want to have it. And if they don't want to have a say or don't care to have a say, they got to sign off on it. Somebody's got to represent and sign off on it. But we got lucky. We didn't have to wait. It took a little longer than I thought. But I hate to say this, we found him faster than the police did. So, yeah, you'll know. I know I'll never know. We've come to that conclusion already. Well, I hope we meet again. But yeah, we literally found his kids and his ex-wife faster than the police did. Actually, my oldest brother, his wife, found her fast. I mean, it was like by the end of Monday night. I was talking to her by Tuesday night. No, we did not. He was in Kentucky. I live in Ohio. He was living at Kentucky. We didn't know. We assumed he went back home to Florida when he left here. He had stopped in out of the blue about a year ago and tried to walk in the house, but some bad things happened. Dad said, no, you got to go. I was the last one to here in this house to physically see him alive. He left. We hadn't heard from him for years. We heard, rumor was he was trying to correct his life, and we was hoping that's what was the case, that he was trying to start over. That's all we know until we got the news 2 weeks ago Monday. But they found him down in Kentucky, apparently in an apartment. We don't know the story. We were told we'd get some of the answers in the police report, because we will get a copy of the police report and the death certificate. But we don't know who found him. We don't know if it was the police that found him. We do know that the young man tried to reach out to him, and it was too late, because he didn't know how to. He had to work. He was at work when this all went down, the Friday night before, and it was just too late. So when he couldn't get a hold of him, he had friends go. He said he just made contact for somebody to go check on him. So we don't know if he contacted the police. Nobody really told us, or we had understood that he may have been living with a lady and her husband. So we're supposed to get some of those answers when we get the police report. Other than that, that's all we know. And like I said, there's some things we're never going to know. What led to it, why. And now I don't want to get all depressing here. We've already had a couple Wednesdays like that. So let's try to keep it up. But we're good. We just want to get into rest. So I do have a long day, a long morning. It shouldn't be too bad in the morning just to go finish up the detail. But I want to make sure the way I sleep, I want to kind of go in feeling a little refreshed. So I am going to try to sleep. Dad keep offering me his sleeping pills, and I'm like, dude, I'm not taking this. They don't do me any good. Like I said, you made an announcement in my mind. Flash to your sister, yeah. She's out there somewhere too. Honey, if you can find her, I hope you can, or I hope she reaches out to you. But just hope for the best. That's all you can do. Because they're an adult. You just hope that someday they say, I got to go home, or I got to make contact, and just pray that happens. And it's in a good, positive way. So keep your hopes up. Maybe she's doing real good now and got a family and living a good life. You won't know until you know. I definitely got to shave this down. It's getting a little, the neck beard part of it's getting a little too rough. But yeah, I mean, I loved him. He drove us nuts, but I loved him. We didn't always, well, we didn't agree on each other a lot, but well, that's all you can do, and that's what we would do. That's what we were hoping for Kevin, that he, found a way to start a new life, and that's all you can do. I mean, Gemma said you want to offer help, and you can only offer help so much, but you don't want them to drag you down with them, and that could happen too. So you just can hope for the best, and that's what we would do. A lot of people said I'm being awful casual about this, but it's like when you come and walk in and out that death door 4 or 5 times, your outlook on death, that's a lot different. And I've always been real kind of chilled about that. So, it's like when my mom passed, I cried, but I wasn't crying for her. I was crying for Dad because she took care of everything. He had to learn to do everything. Because they will. Yeah, they make their own decisions. And it's good because, sometimes they make the right decisions. Sometimes they stumble across a person that helps them along the way and things get better. So just hope for the best. Just like you tell people, it's my life, and they're going to tell you the same thing. All you can do is reach out to your hand. You just don't want to reach out too many times because, like people said, they can drag you down with them too. And you don't want that. And you may never get a call, Edna. And if you do, it may be a blessing in disguise. But, apparently I have a cousin who basically did that, just up and disappeared. And they finally sent a private detective to look for him. And he told when they found him, he told the private, I guess the private detective even approached him and everything. And he was like, yeah, I just don't want to be bothered. Just leave me alone. He had a family, kids. He was living on the other side of the country, doing good, middle class, happy. And his family says, just as long as he's happy, we'll leave him alone. So they left him alone. They figured if he was ready to come home and talk, they would come. Yes, that's the same thing with Kevin. But when he came back, Mom kind of enabled him. So, But then again, she was going through, she was on her last leg, and he kind of took advantage of that. And I don't want to speak ill of him because I do love him, and I don't want to speak ill of that. Like I said, we had our differences, some big, but I ain't no saint either. So I can't judge. I'm not going to judge anybody because I'm no saint either. I've had my share of bad mistakes too, and wrong decisions, and I'm sure I'll probably make many more before I go. But yeah, that's all you can do is hope for the best. I just, like I said, my big thing right now is go do this in the morning. Hopefully by the weekend, we can get him laid to rest with mom, and I, at the risk of sounding kind of, I don't know, and just be done with it and just put him to rest. Because right now we get that heaviness again, and Dad doesn't need that right now. So we need to get this taken care of. I got it. I get it. My sister took advantage of our grandparents. Yeah, that's we did that. Sounds like they sound like they were kind of the same thread, Dad. Now, and the kid, he was ever since he was born, he was a crazy kid. I mean, he was a handful, but he was the baby of the family. I mean, mom toted over him, and not much left in my family. My mom is 88. Dog is 8. My dad is 90. On his side, now there's only a few small relatives left on my mom's side, and I don't know them very well at all, except for my 2 cousins, only by law, because my mom was adopted within the family. And I haven't talked to them for years. But on my dad's side, he's from 9 kids, and it's just him and his sister and his youngest sister. They were the last 2. He's 90. I believe she's 87. And she was diagnosed with dementia while we were living in a hotel at the fire. So that's his last family member, other than some cousins, nieces and nephews running around. And I don't remember. And as for my cousins from this side of the family, they're scattered all through Chillicothe, Kentucky, the Appalachian Mountains. So I do know that we have a cousin right now that's in hospice. And I hope she's doing well. She was a sweet one. But yeah, Dad said the other day, it's like, I miss my sister, but talking to her, he only gets a real good conversation now with her about an hour before she starts kind of. So I know that's hard on him. I'm too immature to be an elder. You sound like me. In fact, we dropped off my ex does taxes, so she does my dad's taxes, and I dropped him off today. Me and him were out running around trying to take care of some things, and I swung by to drop off the taxes, and she was in a business meeting in her room, all over the computer, and one of the grandkids was home, so came to the door, and my daughter was there. My middle daughter Samantha was there. And my Sammy went out to check on the one boy coming home off the bus. Her oldest comes up and goes, Grandpa, you look old. But man, why do you act like a kid? I started laughing. But the wise one. Yes, I agree with that too, Latra. She is the wise one. Everybody says I'm like an old soul in a young body. I'm the opposite. I'm a young punk troublemaker in an old body. I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I play Fortnite with Gemma's son to keep him busy so she gets some extra work done. And when her mom found out, I was like, man, he's a bigger kid than that kid. You know, it's not uncommon to go to like the family picnics with invite the ex now invites me and pop over so we can spend time with everybody, the parties and stuff. And they laugh because I'll get down there with the little ones and play cars and stuff. They always called me the old soul when I was a kid. Really? Yeah. See, I never got that. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't think I am. I'm just me. I still, no matter what this poor body decides to do to me, no matter how much I try to take care of it, because I do take care of it a lot better than people realize. Um, I will always be a kid at heart. I'm that Toys R Us kid. I will always be a Toys R Us kid. Always. It's amazing because I see these toys, these kids now. Some of them really cool and some of them really crappy. And I loved Archie toys, but I got kind of jealous when I was in my 20s, popping out kids and in the 80s, and some of those toys, it was like, man, how do you get Transformer toys like this? This is cool. So I'd start buying them for myself. And that's how I got stuck collecting toys. I think it's funny all the doctors that think I'm a medical. I said no, I'm just a con. I just have common sense. Hey Pam, how you doing, hon? I hope you're well. Then we're gonna be calling it here probably in about 15 minutes. I figure I take it to midnight. Keep it easy. That's good. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I don't want to do this in the morning, but I want to get it done. Then we spent like, he's supposed to have had plots that mom gave him out on the west side of town, but we think he sold them. And then I found out today that they were confirmed that he probably did sell them. So it's all right. We'll put him with mom. Yeah, well, let me hit the right side and we'll make it better. That's my solution. When your left knee hurts, kick the right. Or break out the duct tape and hammer. We'll fix that right up. And if we need the staple gun, we got it on the side. That's like when Gemma she hurt her knee that one day, the other night. I felt bad for her. And so I kept telling her, well, I'll come over with the hammer and the duct tape. We'll fix that sucker right up. I knew she was hurting because when it goes out on her, man, ooh. But see, I know how she feels. Um, am I not glitching on you guys? Am I? I hope not. I just noticed my internet signal started fluctuating. Yep, stay hydrated, drink underwater. Cranberry juice is a good thing. Also, beet juice is good for you too. Good, because I'm watching my internet, my two icons, and they were freaking out. Cool. Um, I guess it's okay, Pammy. I mean, I lost a brother 2 weeks ago, and he was in Kentucky, and we're finally getting to put him to rest. But we're okay. I'm okay. Yeah, it could be. That's what I was thinking. Because no, I'm not. I'm on Wi-Fi, but he does have the modem and stuff all right above me. And sometimes I can hear the cables. We're real close to the house in the back here, and I can hear them in the house. So it's possible. But it was weird because this one started flickering, and then I was watching the one from the StreamYard kind of doing weird stuff too. I'm like, oh man, don't go yet. I still got like at least 10 minutes. I was surprised. There were times today. Well, I knew we were getting a good 50, 60 mile an hour gust. I mean, I had to go out and pick a couple branches up, but I was shocked that we did not lose any electric today. There he is, Ryan. Hey, I watched the interview. I just hadn't left a comment. Great interview, dude. I love watching your interviews, just so you know. Greetings, nondescript. I hope you're well, sir. That was a great interview. You give great interviews, man. I love your interviews. Earlier I was talking, hey, Mike, how you doing? Is Dave Schrader over? One of the other ones done for the night? How you guys doing? Yeah, well, he took us online. I have to put it that way. And YouTube nails me for it. That's fine. No, you do. You give great interviews, man. And Mike, behold, crap, boom. I heard all that this morning that we had tornadoes, Mike. So I heard it. I've heard enough of behold, snap, crackle, and pop, and all that crap. But yeah, Ryan, you give great interviews, and your knowledge is amazing. I started off the stream talking about trying to talk about doppelgangers, and mimics, and weird stuff that we see in the mirror. And then we just got to rambling again, like we do here. So what's your views on doppelgangers and mimics? I try my best. I'm going on another show tomorrow night at Tinfoil Tales at 9. Put the link in, and I will make sure if I can catch it tomorrow night, I will. I don't think Gemma's doing oracles tomorrow night. I think she's going to do them Saturday because she didn't say nothing tonight. So we'll probably do them Saturday night. If I can catch it tomorrow night, I will catch it. So put the link in here, and I'll come back and get it. If you have a link for it, Ryan. And I will watch it. Yeah, that was a great interview. I just didn't leave a comment. I hadn't gone back to leave a comment yet. But I did finally get to watch it. Yeah, see, I said the same thing. Doppelgangers and mimics are spooky. And we were trying to figure out, are doppelgangers mimics? Or is mimics a whole different thing? But we know doppelgangers can call out people and stuff. Nobody says behold like I do, though. Nope, nobody does. That's for sure. I came in late. Now you're fine. I know Dave was there. You go. Thanks, Ryan. And I will make sure. Hold on. I'm going to put my stuff on now so I catch it. And it gives me a chance to check out a new channel, too. So, yeah, I'm doing that right now. I went ahead and give the like. Cool breeze. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm always impressed with your interviews. I just felt bad that one night you were on there, that first one I caught. There was only like 3 or 4 people, but man, you guys were having a hell of a discussion. I was impressed. But I think mimics are in a category of all their own. Now, see, I do too, because a lot of people don't seem to know what to make of them. The same sort of energy manifesting itself to copy you. And that cannot be good. Yeah, see, now all the doppelganger stories, encounters that I've been told personally, always seem to come off really creepy, not good. They always seem to have some type of malevolent intent. Comprehend and begin to understand. Well, I didn't see my doppelganger. No, see, but your son did. And then I've had people that have seen their own doppelganger. And that's creepy in itself, like those ladies. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed them, dude. Yeah, I did. And I like Skinwalker and Wendigo. The only problem about with those two now is everybody wants to blame them for everything. Well, that's Skinwalker. Are you sure about that? Oh, that's Wendigo. Are you sure about that? And it does. It tends to scare folks. I think Wendigos are more scarier than Skinwalkers, to be quite honest. I better not run into it. I'm sure we'll have words for sure. Yeah, it's like Gemma gets talking about black-eyed kids, and it stirs things up, and everybody starts talking about. So you don't hear a whole lot of people talk about all these videos, the compilation channels where they do top 10 and stuff like that. And they've been playing those where these people are hearing somebody calling their name. Like this one guy was having his girlfriend sound like she was in the hallway calling him, but she was laying right next to him. And he would get up to look, and it was clear. You can even hear it in the audio. And he would turn and look at her, and she's crashed. And oh, it's a skinwalker. And I'm like, but this guy, this one dude, he was like, I think that's a mimic. And that's like, finally somebody's using something as a skinwalker. I keep telling folks that this isn't near the fourth sacred mountain. It isn't a skinwalker. See, I agree with you. Years ago, a huge biker mistook me for a prospect in a popular motorcycle club. I said, I hope he is being good. I hope he is being good, being a good boy. Now, I get when I was younger, I'm changed a lot, but when I was younger, I definitely looked like a lot of blonde hair, blue-eyed guys. So I got often mistaken. Like I said, I went to a school actually with two guys, but one guy for sure who could have passed as my twin, which was kind of creepy because his name was Steve too, but he spelled it with a PH. I may have been my doppelganger. Yeah, it's possible. But see, that's another thing. Do you guys think doppelgangers are from a different universe or a different dimension? Do you think it's I call it the mirrored world, where you look in the mirror and that's where the doppelgangers come from? And mimics. What are mimics? Are mimics part of the doppelganger family? Are they something, like you said, something totally different? I feel sorry for the double gamers. He got a mess. Hot mess, just a mess. Too many people confused the mimicry thing and a Wendigo. We never we we never said it to do it. B skinwalkers only mimic those they've had contact with. That I did know. See, this is why I always crack up when they start automatically say, "Oh, it's a Wendigo. Oh, it's a skinwalker," and it's like, well, I always thought skinwalkers were more out west. This is a type of black magic, right? I mean, this is like a really serious ritual to become a scared walker. I mean, is this ritual common knowledge now or something? Everybody doing it? That's what I always thought. But I always thought, the skinwalker was like, what Skinwalker Ranch in those areas. Now, Wendigos are a little different when it comes to, where they could be. I would think maybe mimics are negative energies manifesting. That sounds like a plausible. I thought something like that too. Mirrored world would make sense. See, I like that too, and that's what I say. A doppelganger to me would be more in the movie Us. Nah, it was a good movie, but didn't they come from a mirror? I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that. And beat me to it, Dan. And when they would stalking someone, it wouldn't be physical. If a window were stalking someone, it wouldn't be physical. See, that's what I thought. Well, take care of it, Pammy. Like a dark shamanism. See, that's what I always thought skinwalkers were out in the west, and the Navajo. They all had to go through a very serious ritual, very dark ritual to become a skinwalker. I didn't think that was like common knowledge. These people sound like there's skinwalkers everywhere. And skinwalkers are huge. And now, let me make sure I got this right, because I don't want to be out of place. A skinwalker is a human who has the ability to shapeshift, like a lycanthrope, but different. It's done through magic, dark magic. Now, how is these people thinking that these guys are demons and stuff? That there are people that live, oh no, skinwalkers are like a cryptid. And I'm like, no. The Wendigo would stalk someone spiritually and mentally. They'd have nightmares. They would, yeah. See, I know that. Usually, a skinwalker has to commit murder. It's someone close to them. Yeah, it's like a life or it's like a sacrifice, right? I was referring seeing skinwalkers using dark shamanism. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Because I always thought skinwalkers were shamans who went dark or people who gained the ability to do the ritual to do so. Because I always thought it was a ritual, very dark, someone they loved. That's what I was told, Ryan. Yeah, correct. And that could take on the form of the animal, not a bipedal version, but the actual animal. That's what I see. Now, when people say, "Oh, I saw the werewolf," I saw the wolf stand up, I'm like, "That's a werewolf. That's not a skinwalker. Skinwalker actually becomes an animal. They want to be a hawk, they become a hawk, right?" Yes, a lover, a parent, a child is sacrificed to accept the dark spirits. See, I was right. I thought I was right about that. There's werewolf or a dog man. Now, see, a dog man is like a demon or genetic thing. They've created it. It's always a dog man. It never was human. A werewolf is lycanthrope. It's been cursed. Yeah, Lee Blackburn and I talked about this last night. People say dogman and skinwalkers are the same. No, they're not. No, I even know that. Now, I swear, and I think you've heard me talk about this, Ryan. I'm pretty sure we saw a werewolf, not a dog man, not a skinwalker, because it was in Logan, Ohio. And it was a female. But it had breasts, and it looked sad. It almost looked like it wanted to attack us, but it just ran off instead. But it looked sad. When we all took pictures and the only one picture took out, I'm still to this day pissed because he did not show me the picture and destroyed the camera. We were down in Logan and fall, and a friend of mine has one of those trailer cabins, prefab homes down there, sitting on a nice piece of property amongst real nice dense forest. There's a pond. Next place ain't miles away. There's a place clear on the other side of the street. But he has a nice big, backyard with the forest all around it. We have a fire pit. He had a fire pit, but probably about 10 feet from not even that, 5 feet from the fire pit, there was a hill that went down and covered in trees. And then you hit the road. We were standing at the fire. It was me and two friends, they were drinking. I was smoking a cigarette because I don't drink a whole lot when I'm not a drinker. And we're just standing there talking. And we heard a growl. And the fire just went. And we all look up at the fire. And you could see it plain as day. Standing just on the edge of that hill before it goes down. Looking at us. We all took pictures. Okay? Because we were all directly on the other side of the fire. I was standing here. One friend was standing here. And another friend was standing here. When we looked at, and then it was gone. You heard it. It didn't like growl. It was more like a cry. And it looked sad. And she was covered in hair, dog face, looked just like a werewolf, would you think? But it had breasts. But it looked so sad. It looked So sad. And we took our pictures, and as soon as we took our pictures and like flashes went off, it booked. You could hear it run down the hill, and it was gone. We all look at our pictures. Mine and the other, this guy here, our pictures was nothing but fire. All you got was fire. But the dude standing in the middle, it was like a perfect picture of this thing. I didn't see it, but Jeff said when he took his hand and goes, "Oh, great!" I'm trying not to say his name because he gets pissed when I tell the story. He looked down at the phone and he went, "Holy shit!" Pardon the language. And the other guy took the phone and looked at it, and he pulled it away and looked at it again and goes, "No, no!" And you could see the fear. And this is a guy who thinks he's the manly man of man. The fear in his face. He puts the phone like this and runs up to the cabin, prefab, what do you want to call it, the house. We're all just standing there looking and go, "What'd you see? What'd you see?" Because, dude, it was what we saw. It was a werewolf. It was the clearest picture I've ever seen. He goes, "I go get it." So we go to get it. And he wouldn't come out. He wouldn't come out of the bedroom. You could hear him just freaking out. Well, finally, Jeff goes, "Just leave him alone." So we left him when we went back out and sat down. And we were talking, trying to figure out what we saw, trying to compare notes, as one might say. Both of us pissed because nothing came out on our phones. And he finally came out, threw kind of a tantrum. I'm telling him, "Let me see the picture." He kept telling me, "No, it's cursed." He kept saying the picture was cursed before. And this is within an hour after it happened, maybe a little longer. Takes the phone, puts it on the ground, and starts smashing it with a rock. I was so pissed. It was not good. And he still, to this day, from what I understand, we stopped talking a little bit after that. Things kind of went sour because I was a little pissed off at him. That was the picture. If the picture was as good as my other friend was saying, this could have been the picture of all pictures. And it just still aggravates me. But I understand that it probably scared the shit out of him. He didn't believe in this stuff. You know, I'd sit down there and when we went down there, I'd tell stories, encounters that I've heard over the years. And people would laugh and joke. But I'm like, these are real encounters, folks. These are stories that people actually told me. Yeah, I was not happy, and that friendship was kind of coming to its end after 30 years. He was kind of having some issues, and I was changing again in my ways. Yeah, he needed an elephant gun. I tried. I felt that had silver bullets. Make jam for the soft tissues. But yeah, and I'm um the one guy says, you know, he still talks to him. Said last time they were together, which was not too long ago, because I still talk to him. And he said, you bring it up and he gets really pissed off. He doesn't like talking about it. He heard that I had told the story on Sean G's Chasing the Truth, when Sean, back in the day when he first started doing the calls ins, and he got real pissed. He was not happy because, man, you don't talk about that cursed stuff. And like I said, this is a guy that did not believe in this stuff. I believe there's everything out there. I believe there's things that we don't even know about out there. Hey, AK, long time no see. How you doing there, sir? What you got on the grill tonight? Or is it too wet? You're in, are you in Texas, right? Where you at, really? I can't remember. AK, everybody. Oh, yeah, there's stuff out there we don't even know about. And you can't even talk about the oceans and what's in water. We won't even talk what's in lakes and stuff that we don't know nothing about. What's for supper, AK? That's basically what I asked. Snowstorm going on now, really? We had tornadoes this morning. Thank God we didn't have them here, but they were all around me. That's right. You're in Alaska. Yeah, that's right. I absolutely refuse to swim in lakes. You know what? I don't. I don't have fear swimming in that stuff. But when it comes to the ocean, I'm okay up by the beach. But I'm a little leery about jumping out in the water in the deep ocean. I just don't find that very comforting for some reason. If I can't touch the bottom, forget it. If I can't see the bottom, forget it. And that's what I'm scared. Yeah, it's because I'm scared. there, there must be, Mike. People have seen. Oh man, there's things I've seen. There are things I've seen that I don't even know how to explain. To be quite honest with you folks, I have seen things that I don't even know how to explain. Like I have a hard time still to this day. Just, I mean, I guess the demon was pretty easy to explain, but the whole event is hard to explain. And I tell that when I gave Gemma that story, I did the best I could because it wasn't just that event. There was stuff that led up to all that too. That was weird and just it's like a score of events that led up to that main event. My husband is leery of the ocean too. Yeah, a lot of people are. I've never seen Jaws enough times. Deep ocean water is not for me. Yeah, Jaws don't help. Didn't help a lot of people. The wind, the rain, and the whipping out there. Hopefully, no power outages. Wow. Yeah, we're getting since the storms passed through today. We went from 65 degrees this morning to like 38 by 3 o'clock. We're now 27 degrees. I think it dropped even more. We're now 25 degrees. And then we're supposed to be back up in the 60s and 70s over the weekend. It's like, what the heck? Way too many people have seen things for it to be myth. I totally agree. I mean, I have seen some weird stuff I literally cannot explain how I would even explain. Like I can't. I've tried to draw some of the stuff that I've seen, and I can't even draw. It's just so weird and abstract. I mean, that's about the only way I can put it. Now, maybe that we have AI art. Maybe I should try an AI machine and see if it could come up with what I've seen. Try to describe to it, but it's hard to describe some of the things I've seen. I spent a lot of time out in the ocean. I've seen two things I can't explain. I wouldn't doubt that AK one bit. We have a generator, but I'd rather not. Sounds like you've got some stories to tell. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Ryan? I'm glad you came in, Ryan. I'm glad you all are here. And everybody that's just hanging out in the back, appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. I love it. I spent a lot of time on the bay. Well, we went up to Lake Erie once. I've been up there a bunch of times, but I've never been out in the deep, like out in the middle of the Lake Erie. It's weird because you know it's a lake, but you feel like you're in the ocean because it kind of feels like the ocean. But we're pretty sure we saw something that's skimming the water, but it was so far away and we didn't have binoculars, but you could see it, but we don't know if it was illusion. So we just write it off as our own little water experience, UFO experience. Though it might have been, it was weird. You were out there fishing. Okay, sounds like you got stories. I spent a lot of time in the bay. She couldn't bother me. Unacceptable period. Now, Ghost John Connor would not approve. No, he wouldn't, John Connor. No, he probably wouldn't. Oh, that's funny. I have to run. Just wanted to say, dude, thanks for stopping in. We talk about you when we don't see you while wondering what you're making for dinner. I have to run. Just wanted to say hi and hope you're all doing. Yeah, we're doing good, but I hope you're well too. Hope to be grilling something good when you are on this weekend. I'm most likely, if everything goes good and everything goes okay, I'm putting a brother to rest. Hopefully by the end of the week. I'm planning on streaming. I believe she's doing Oracle Saturday night. As far as I know right now, she may be doing it tomorrow night, but as far as I know, Saturday night. I should be on Friday night, but you just watch for my thumbnail. I'll try to post it somewhere so people know if I don't. But I plan on being here. Have a safe one, Willie. Be safe and out there in that snow and that crazy weather. Have a good one, dude. And hopefully we'll see you over the weekend. Now, Gemma does Oracle's Saturday night. He'll be at 7:15, so I don't know what time that is. What about afternoon, mid-morning for you? Wait, 7:15, that would be toward the afternoon, I think. But have a great night. Have a good day tomorrow. And hopefully either see you Friday night or Saturday. We'll see how things fly. And we'll see you on the flip side, sir. Be well. But yeah, I'm going to be ready to call it a night here soon anyways. I hope not either, Pammy. Oh my God. Oh, 12:17. Okay. But yeah, it's funny because I'm not afraid of heights at all. The higher, the better. It don't bother me one bit. But when it comes to walking around in deep water or being over deep water, too many weird things go on in the ocean. Just as weird as the weird stuff that goes up here on we think, you see the surface of the water and you don't really think anything weird's going on, but what is going on down there? In the depths that we don't even know about. Bloop. I love the bloop videos. I'll be crashing out soon myself. I like to rest up before an interview. And that is, what time was that interview? I'll have to go look. I actually have it marked, so I'll go look. But yeah, I'll be there for that. That's in the evening, right? I'll have to go look. I'll look later. I marked it and tagged it, so. Yeah. Well, if I wouldn't have to get up, I want to get up. I want to try to get some rest because I need to go fresh mind and clean up and maybe get rid of this mess. And I'm not going to cut the hair for a while yet, but even though my wings are starting to come back, I'm not afraid of heights, but I hate to fly. Now, I don't mind flying. I don't know if I'd fly into planes today, though. I mean, the jets today, man, they seem to be falling apart before they even get off the runway. Not just going to make me one of those airplanes with the lawnmowers. I'd probably do better in that than what they're flying out there now. Mike, you have a good one. Please be well. Hope to see you over the weekend. Have a wonderful one, Mr. Behold. And all that crap. And we'll see you on the flip side soon. And do have a wonderful day tomorrow and Friday. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you over the weekend. Yes, sir, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I'll be there. I should be there. Usually that's my time. Usually once everybody eats dinner here and starts to settle in for the night, that becomes my time. I still do work around the house, but it's a lot nicer because I have the house pretty much myself. Everybody goes, the two go, one up goes upstairs and one goes to his room or sits in the TV and watches. And I have the house too quiet where I can work or piddle, do what I need to do. So be well, though. Good luck tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Edna. It should be okay. Um, yeah, I know it is. It just sucks, and it breaks my heart. All right, boys and girls. Yep, take it well. Duke, if my dog Duke will actually let me. See, I'm lucky. Our dog goes upstairs and bugs his master, his real master, even though Dad is Pop is his master, his part-time master. I'm just the guy that feeds him when nobody's paying attention. Oh yeah, I know you know. Folks, we're gonna go ahead and call it then. I want everybody to have a wonderful night. Pam, take care of your business. Get it fixed so you can get on with your life. And everybody else, please have a wonderful day. If you saw the link in there for Ryan's interview tomorrow night, go check him out. His interviews are awesome. And I enjoy his interviews. I was actually kind of taking notes. Please go check him out. Ryan, if you want to drop that link in, if you haven't left yet, drop that link back in here again so people can mark it. I guarantee it's going to be a good interview. And please have a wonderful night. Yeah, and Ryan, if you're still there, you can also drop it in chat too. I mean, in the comments, I believe you can leave the link in comments, so you can do that too. Because folks, really go check out his interviews. They're usually really good. Usually, the ones I've seen so far have been fantastic. And the people that give these interviews could use the views. I don't know how big. I've never heard of that person, Turmoil. So it'll be a good one. It might be a nice new person to follow along. And please be safe out there. I'll either see you Friday night or Saturday with Gemma for Pixie's not on tomorrow night. It's her off night. So as far as I know, like I said, Gemma's not doing oracles tomorrow night. She hasn't said anything. Usually I'm like one of the first to know. So I'm sure we're doing it Saturday. Got a hair in my face. And then I'll see you. If I don't see you Friday night, I will see you Saturday. I'm probably going to be here Friday night because you guys, even if I have two people here, it's just nice. It takes my mind off of everything, like tonight. And what a great bunch of people tonight. Thank you. And all the people who watched in the background, ghosted me. Thank you. Thank you for just hanging out. And even if you just had me on the browser, I appreciate it so much. Gemma appreciates the views because this is all for Gemma. You know, all these views count for her. Remember her books. Go all on my Amazon. Let's help push Campfires up to #1. Let's see. But Gemma Saturday night at 7:15. If I don't see you at midnight Friday night, have a wonderful Thursday. And if anything changes, I'm sure one of us will let you folks know. Have a blessed night. Keep yourself in check. Please, everybody get a good night's rest. You're such a wonderful bunch of people. I love you, Gemstones. And Gemma does too. And I will see you on the flip side. Ryan, I'll see you tomorrow night in chat, probably. And peace out, folks. Really.